Alina, I'm muting you.
Oh my god, really?
Yes.
What's that?
What did she say?
I said I'll mute myself.
Oh, okay, fine.
I'll just listen.
Just mute the TV. Do you really need that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Mexican folk people. They overdo it. They're just so
I
dramatic.
just watch.
They're
I like
hype,
to
but
watch.
like they're like the
her.
hype people. They're like, ah, you know, like
Yeah.
I like to watch sports on mute. So, but I'm weird.
What?
Yeah, Darlene does not like that.
It's the best, the commentary.
Okay.
wait, Daylene, are you blonde?
Huh?
Are you
Oh yeah, I
blonde?
did my hair. It's not blonde, it's like what's lighter, yeah.
It looks good.
Well,
I
yeah.
haven't seen you recently, so I'm like,
Turned on
he
the
turned.
light.
Did someone turn the
that's
light
good.
on?
Yeah, he turned on the light.
Okay.
It looks so good.
Thank you.
We haven't started, so you perfect timing.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
Sorry,
gonna
I'm
mute myself
late.
now.
No, it's okay.
Oh, hey, Paula.
Hi.
Hi.
Were we waiting for someone else also?
No,
Nah.
we were kind of.
You were catching up.
Yeah, people were
Yeah,
getting to their house. There's a game, and then you showed up. We're like, oh, we'll wait. It's all perfect. It all worked out.
Yes, perfect time.
Okay. I did start recording, so we're on, and we can start now. What did we think of the first section?
The first couple pages were like, what the fuck? Like, death by routine. I was like,
I know. That's intense.
like, is that actually common? Like, that common? At least in New York, like, that people just don't even pay attention when someone fucking gets murdered.
That's what
That
she
was kind of
said.
extreme. I think it was. I think people do pay attention a little more, and it's not that common that your head gets squished by a tire.
Yeah.
I know. I
Yeah,
thought it was totally like what is it called? Final Destination status. Like that was
Yeah.
real extreme.
She also though kind of seems really introverted, and maybe she just like thinks no one notices, but that's just her experience. That like no one cares and no one notices. Little old me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
That description of
Yeah.
the head was pretty disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it seems like it popped off or something.
Like,
I try not to read it at night because of what we had heard previously.
The
But
reviews.
I feel like I could have read this section at night. It wasn't scary to the point that I wouldn't be able to sleep. The
I
end.
want to know when the scary stuff is gonna start, because like I mean, okay, she describes the house being like super creepy, but I feel like what else other than I'm sure Jeremy has something to do with like his daughter's deaths and like where it left off, his wife saying like, oh, it just hasn't happened to me yet. You know, like well, like why, like what, like I want to know like what, like, and well, I'm trying to figure out the reason for like him doing stuff like this.
Yeah, like is he a bad person? Then why
Yeah.
didn't she like try to escape that, you know?
Yeah.
Like he seems charming, but I don't feel like he also seems like even the author, what's her name, his wife, Verity.
Verity, yeah.
Yeah, like even she described him as like super charming and like such a gentleman. Like, is it a front? But I'm like, okay, you must have been married long enough to not like think he was like twisted in some way.
Part of me thinks the opposite though. I think it's Verity that's involved with all the, like, I forgot which one it was. She was like saying something about her destiny and that she saw like her, not her daughter dying, but there was a line that said something about that. And it seems to me like she made it happen because she saw it, but I feel like deep inside she's like a little crazy and like too creative that maybe it like took over her mind.
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
Like,
But she seems really evil and dark.
like some kind of
Well, she writes that
vision.
way. But that doesn't mean it's
Yeah.
like, it has to be reality. I mean, he said he only read her first book, and even then it was like, it was too much, like for him to read like into her mind kind of thing. I feel like maybe that has something to do with it, because she says like, oh, all her writing is super like suspenseful, like super like kind of like twisted.
Mm-hmm.
What if it like in some way he makes them real? Like, well, you saw this, you know?
Interesting.
I don't know. What got me weird was the teeth marks on the headboard.
Yeah, that was
Like-
super weird.
Like, okay, sex can be aggressive, but not like biting, like teeth marks on the headboard. I thought that was a little, I don't know. Like, what could you like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It was just weird.
Yeah. That little section kind of gave me like Mexican Gothic vibes. Because at first I was like, oh, maybe it's just like some issues with marriage or maybe just actual psychological issues. But then I'm like, what if it's some paranormal stuff? Especially as she's coming into the house and she's like, this is very dark. Like, it's kind of creepy and she feels uncomfortable and doesn't want to stay there at night. I'm like,
Well, their kid is weird. The
That
5-year-old
too.
that just stands there like,
yeah, he just shows up and looks in the car and then leaves and then shoves the door right behind her. Like, I don't know.
he just walks away.
Yeah, and then she's like, hello? Like, what? I don't know.
I know.
I don't know.
And
I
the
feel like
dad's like,
it could be paranormal, like, just because I'm, like, trying to imagine that headboard and, like, I don't know. Maybe it was, like, some sex stuff that they were doing, but at the same time, I feel like it's more violent and not necessarily that. So, I
is
don't know.
the kid evil?
Oh. Maybe that.
He's
What if
only 5. He can't even open up a Dr. Pepper bottle.
Have you seen all the crazy movies they have out with little kids? I don't know, man.
Our kids chewed their crib up, or it wasn't our kids. It was these people gave us these cribs, and they were all chewed up. So I just imagine the boy chewing it, the headboard.
Oh yeah, maybe it is the kid and it's not even them.
But it's in the master bedroom.
That doesn't mean he can't get in.
Huh. I don't know. I just feel like Jeremy has something. He planted her in the master bedroom,
Yeah.
close to her office.
That.
And what if he planted the biography?
Yes, I feel like he did because it was right there, like on top in a box.
And he just so happened to like when she asks him about him, how'd you guys meet? He basically said it word for word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously it's a memory, so you think that he remembers some parts. But I don't know. It just all seemed to like kind of like sus.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
the whole sleeping in the master bedroom and be like, oh yeah, we're upstairs, but like where they used to sleep and everything, it's like, oh yeah, that's your spot now. It kind of gave me like, I don't know, I think it's bad news where I feel like maybe he's trying to like replace
Or
Verity.
recreate her. I mean, he did say, oh, I wanted a writer that my wife respected, whose work she respected. I was like, oh, maybe he's looking for something who's like something similar, like write these stories so I know how to finish her. Like maybe he's like again, he's like, he says he didn't read these books, but maybe he did and he's trying to recreate them or something.
I also don't trust anyone named Jeremy.
Oh.
Automatic bad news.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say, like men with J names. You can't trust them.
Really?
Yeah, it's the thing.
Probably true because my dad's name starts with a J.
Yeah,
Because
something
you
Definitely
didn't-
can't trust
And
him.
your brother. And your
Yeah.
brother, Julie.
My next thing was, I hope I didn't offend anybody with that, because I didn't make it up.
No,
Yeah.
no, we agree.
You know what? My
with
brother is also a J name, and he's very sus too. Like he doesn't tell us anything about his personal life. But he also says
Yeah.
because he has two sisters, we're like always trying to get into his business. But still, it's like, okay, you have to share something. Can't be so mysterious.
I think I made a mistake and I didn't read enough.
Oh.
Yeah, because the
I think I'm
audiobook
like,
was weird.
yeah, because I'm doing audiobook and I
Mhm.
stopped at chapter 2, but I see now that there was like another chapter 2, so I think I didn't read enough.
So
But
you
that
didn't
was
get
my
to read the
mistake.
beginning, the first chapter of the biography.
No.
Oh my God, that was so like descriptive. I was kind of into it. Where she's like, oh, the dress, she walks in and she's like, oh, he like sees me from across the room. And it's like, you know, he's kind of cocky. And she's like, oh, maybe not. And it's like, oh, he's telling me I can't order any more drinks. And she's like, but he's not going to tell me what to do. But then when he's like, oh, like I want you to be sober to make that
That's
choice
take you
whether
home.
whether or not I get to take you home or not. And she goes, so when the bartender asks her, do you want another drink? She goes, I'll have water.
Mhm.
I was like, oh,
Yeah. It was like how
Okay.
they met.
Yeah.
The Verity and Jeremy.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it
It was
ends
like
with
how
like,
they
oh, that was
met.
just the beginning, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like the
And
way
then
that
she's
biography ends, I'm like, I wish we would have read a little bit more to know what happens in chapter 2.
I know, because the next chapter, I think, well, when we start reading again, it's like the second chapter of that autobiography.
Mhm. Yeah.
I almost feel like none of this book is going to be her actually writing these books. It's going to be mostly her peeling back the history of Verity and Jeremy and why he picked her to not replace her, but like, you know, to finish off her series.
Hmm. Gosh, yeah, I don't know where this is going. So many options. But it's not weird yet. So I'm like, what's
Mm.
You
gonna
guys ever
get
think it
so
was weird that he
weird?
nicknamed her already Lo?
Oh yeah. And gave her a fake name.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like who
Like,
thinks
how did he already know? She's like, oh, it's like those Facebook things that they ask you, like, where were you born? Like, where did you grow up? Like, you know,
Yeah.
like he just automatically knew, like, you know,
yeah.
sus. He has sus written all over him.
And I just feel like he's drugging the wife or something. Like, why does she look okay, but she's like,
Can't speak.
yeah, can't speak. Like, what's wrong with her? But then how could he have been drugging her if she was at the hospital and at the rehab center, you know?
What if she was having an affair and he brought her in, but kept her paralyzed so that he can like perform acts in front of her? So that she, like, you know, because she can see but can't move or say anything.
Mhm.
Or does like he want the money from her books and then
Mm.
he'll kill her?
Right? Because he kind of has to keep her alive if he wants to keep, like, if he's not, it doesn't, from what it sounds like, he's not working. He's basically a retired realtor, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't seem
So
like
he's
he's
obviously living
working.
off of her income. So he needs her alive.
Yeah, maybe they have financial trouble and
Sell the house if it's worth $3 million.
yeah. So, oh yeah, and he was weird. He doesn't want to move.
Mhm. He did say that because he wants part of his daughter's, right? And it's interesting that even was it Low? She was like, oh yeah. She was kind of agreeing with that, but at the same time, she's like, I want to move out. I don't want to remember part of like my mom when she was here and I was helping her and all that stuff.
Twice did she do that with that, and then she's like, I hate pizza.
Mhm.
But she said to him,
Yeah,
oh, I
that's
love
weird.
pizza.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
she's
who
already kind of
hates
like,
pizza?
oh, where someone sent me a poem where it was like, it was basically like how can I describe it? It was like where a man is really interested in a woman, but she tries to change herself to make herself what she thinks would be even better for him. But in reality, it's like you shouldn't have to change yourself
Mm.
to make someone love you. They should just like love you if they want to be with you, you know? Like it was something like
Yeah.
that where it's like I feel like has maybe like a personality like that where it's, you know, she's like a people pleaser because she says she's just not very social, doesn't like to interact with people.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, she's probably not confrontational.
Like
I
she'd
feel
rather make it easier on herself and be like, agree
like,
than to argue and disagree.
the more we talk about it, I think I am gonna be like, you know what? I think Jeremy is up to something.
Why is it always you with us hopeful about the killer?
I am always hopeful. I'm also
It's
watching
like,
this,
he only murdered a couple people. Like, he's still fine.
I don't know, man. I'm also watching this like Korean drama with my best friend, and we know the guy is like not good, and I'm over here like, but the girl could have said this, but the girl could have done this, and then it's like it's clear that it's the guy, and I'm still like, but maybe, like I don't know. So I mean, I'm kind of like but I am leaning towards like maybe Jeremy is up to something, because like even the kid was like, I think he said that it was nice that like the house or whatever living there was nice, and then he said like it used to be, so like
Like with
maybe
his
it's not the
sisters and his
kid,
mom.
maybe it's yeah, like maybe it's a situation, but maybe it's also like he saw things that happened. I don't know.
But don't you think, like, even at 5, if he saw something that was like negative towards his dad, he'd be traumatized. And he doesn't seem to be. Like, he still seems to be fairly close to his dad. Like, he didn't want to sleep downstairs for whatever reason.
But
So there must be some sort of trauma from downstairs, which is why he moved him upstairs.
I don't know.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
What happened downstairs?
there's fucking, like, there's teeth marks on the headboard. He saw something.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. I wonder if there's anything weird in their bedrooms because they didn't like go in those 2 rooms, right?
Hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, it's
I'm also
strange.
wondering if Verity was suicidal, and if that accident was herself, because they did kind of mention that it was after she lost her daughters.
But what if that's what he wanted it to seem like?
Pero también like losing your kids.
See, because when I look at the cover,
Yeah.
it's like 2 women, right? It's a mirrored. It has her name in the center. It's like, I wonder if like that's Verity, right? But then she's like, that's her. Like she's like kind of like what we talked about, Like he's not replace her, but he's trying to like, I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking out loud.
And I wonder why they picked her. Was it just because they said Verity liked her writing? Did they look similar?
They didn't really describe her appearance, right? I mean, they described Verity to be blonde.
I think the main girl is blonde too, or like I think they said like she had like dark roots and like sandy hair or something. So that's sort of blonde-ish.
Oh my god, what if they give her a makeover to look like Verity?
That's crazy. Yeah, I feel like we're barely scratching the surface. There's so many things that can go. Damn.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm excited.
Me too. I don't know where it's gonna go. And then I just don't know if Jeremy like planted this autobiography or not.
That too.
I'm really interested to see how like the book will scare me, because I have been like, I don't read a lot of like thriller books or whatever. It's more like I watch like a movie or like a TV show. But I have like read some Stephen King, and like those can be kind of scary and like, thrilling. So I'm interested to see like how they make it really scary. Because so I mean, I haven't read as far as you guys, but so far it was like not scary at all, except for the head popping. So
yeah.
I'm interested to see like, because its reputation is that it's going to be intense. So I wonder.
Yeah, and I kept
be
reading
like
some reviews that they were like, it's just super twisted, and I'm like, okay, but in what way? That's why I feel like Verity's mind was a little off.
Well, I mean, if
But-
she's writing these, like, I feel like all authors, when they have like well, even when I think of Stephen King, right? Like, he writes some twisted shit. Like, you think that something is going on in their head, like, or at least they have some sort of like maybe that's like a way of like releasing a different personality that she has.
Or is Jeremy twisted and he gives her the ideas?
Oh,
But I don't know. But she said she was always writing down character names and stuff.
on like anything. That was interesting. Like even on a diaper.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's hilarious.
Like,
I don't know, but I wonder why that's relevant. And like, why can't she find any notes yet for the future books if she was like such a note taker?
mm,
Maybe
Well, I
that's
mean, she
when
hasn't
the
really started
good stuff
looking
is.
really, right? She's only looked at a couple things.
Yeah.
Did they, and again, I don't want to, because I haven't read as far as you guys, but is it that like she was looking for notes on the book, but then she found like an autobiography kind of thing? Like
yeah,
by mistake?
Yes.
yeah.
She's more
Yes.
interested in the biography right now, like, because she wants to know more about their marriage. Like, and she's like, she even says, I can use this as an excuse that I'm trying to get to know her better, maybe her writing style.
And I think she wanted it to be like that, but then she was like, wait, this is good. What's
Like any other girl, right, wants to know the cheese when it's like, because she says she's like she thinks he's handsome, or like, you know, she likes being alone with him. Like, she, I don't know, I think maybe it's gonna get to a point where she's like, she wants a little bit more.
She wants to be his
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
because she even says like, oh, it describes his hands, right? Because she's like, oh, his, in the autobiography is talks about his hands going up her thigh, and she's like, oh, he has very nice hands.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like little things like that. It's like
And that is what she kept thinking after she read the autobiography.
couldn't stop thinking about it. Just fantasizing.
Yep. Yeah. We'll see who's the evil one. They're all
And then
twisted.
something happened to her. Like,
Mm.
didn't she imply something happened to her when she was like 10 or something?
I did write down that as a child, she sleptwalk.
Oh yeah, I remember them saying that. And her mom was freaked out by it.
So right away I was like, OMG, what if she kills someone during like one of these episodes? Like, what if she has it as an adult? This was obviously before we get any information about Jeremy and like more into the story. I totally forgot about it until like I saw my notes right now. But how?
You're right. Maybe that's why she likes to lock herself in her room.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's more to keep herself inside. Because she was like freaking out there wasn't a lock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh.
And I mean, sleepwalking is normally just like, I mean, I don't know. I've never seen someone sleepwalking, but I don't know if people always think it's scary, or is it scary? Like, or is it more just like weird? Like maybe her version is very scary. Like maybe she does stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe she doesn't even know what she does.
That's what I'm thinking. I feel like she would be doing stuff because I know other people just, you know, they get up or whatever. And I think just the fact that it's at night and people are just like walking, you know, or I think that for me would be scary. But if I don't know if people actually do stuff. I think I've seen a video of, but nothing like crazy violent.
I saw this video that was very, I honestly think it was staged though. Like, I don't really know, but it was like a bunch of cameras of this woman doing all these crazy things, like running out of the house, and like saying all these weird things, and I was like, I feel like this is fake.
Is it the one? I feel like it's probably the same one. She's throwing like cans at the ice.
Yeah.
Outside at the
Oh my
snow,
god, I've seen
yeah.
her. She's funny.
Yeah, and then some guy is passing by. I'd be scared for the guy. I'm like, like, what is the guy gonna do to her? But he just kept going. It's like, what the hell?
I mean, I've seen, like, my little brother used to sleepwalk, and he didn't necessarily do or say anything. He did a couple things, but it was more, he would stand at your door, and it looked like he was watching you. Like, he would just like randomly do that. So I had gotten to the habit of locking my door because my mom would she would catch him and she would try to talk to him and he wouldn't move.
I've heard you're not
Creepy
supposed
shit
to
like that. But I also
right?
sleep talk. I just
Yeah.
do sometimes.
My
And
husband
my boyfriend
sleep
says that
talks
it
too.
sounds like I'm talking in tongues, like
Yeah.
gibberish. And he's like, I can't
Wow.
make out what you're saying, but it sounds like you're talking really fast and it sounds like tongues. And I'm like, you're fucking crazy. I think people just misinterpret things.
Yeah, my husband sleep talks, sleep yells. I've had
Oh, yeah.
conversations with him, and he doesn't remember. So, but no, he doesn't sleepwalk. Just
Yeah.
all while he's in bed.
Yeah, she made it seem like her mom was like making like a big deal. Like, seemed like she could never do sleepovers or anything because that. But then, like, her mom was comfortable with staying with her while she died of cancer. So clearly, she wasn't afraid of her. Yeah, she didn't mind.
I thought that was weird that her mom lied to her about how much money she had because she wanted her to stay with her.
And she must
Yeah,
have
that's messed up.
walking because she said her mom was terrified of her.
Mm-hmm.
It was like towards the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The other part, the beginning where she's talking about the timeline of when her mom passes away, she tells Jeremy that she passed away a week ago, but then she was talking about how she hasn't been out of the house for weeks since her mother passed. I just thought that was strange, and that she's also wanted the morphine.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was interesting.
Mm-hmm. She's like, I wish I would have hidden it.
Shooting it up, sleepwalking, or that's why
maybe to not sleepwalk.
Yeah.
What if she killed her?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what accidentally.
Yep.
Oof.
And maybe she's kind of like what happened with the accident. She kind of was just in a state of shock. Maybe she's also kind of in a shock after her mom was passing because maybe she witnessed something or did something and doesn't know whether it's real or not.
I also thought that it seemed like she moved on from that whole thing real fast. She was just in that meeting. I don't know. It was like her hands were shaking, but then she just goes to her meeting and it seems fine. So.
Yeah, and I think her hands are shaking more because the car accident, not even her mom.
Yeah, no, I mean that it seemed really fast that someone died in front of her and
she just kinda...
body parts were all over her, and then she's just going into her meeting thinking about how this guy's hot.
Yeah.
I would be rain check.
I know.
I don't know. I've never had someone get run over in front of me, so I don't know what I would do. But.
Yeah, I was thinking,
yeah,
maybe she just has a different coping mechanism, or maybe she just kind of went numb and she's like, let me try and forget it. But how can you actually forget it if it was literally right there?
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I don't know. Same, I haven't been in a situation like that either, so
I guess we'll only find out if we keep reading.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I divided the book into 4 sections. I think August has 5, but I'll do 4 because they're gonna be really short.
Yeah.
80 pages, and if I did 5, it was gonna be 60, 70, and I'm like, that's not gonna give us. Like, I
Much
know
to
we're
talk
gonna
about.
want more, you know. So I did 80. The next section is chapter 2 from the autobiography. Now that we know that it's an autobiography, to chapter 11. Or
Got it.
I'll
I'll send you the picture.
put it on
I
Instagram. It's
love
weird because it's like,
I won't make the
The
mistake
chapter.
again.
Well, it's hard with the audiobook because there's multiple different chapter 1s and chapter 2s.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
that's why the audiobook's all weird.
So I just saw right now. So for this one, stop right when it says like chapter 12, because apparently it's chapter
Mhm.
11, and then we get chapter 5 of the autobiography, and then it's chapter 12. So
Can we read part of the autobiography?
We do read it. We do read it.
Oh, okay.
We read chapter 5. That's what I'm saying. Don't, because I meant stop at 12, and I didn't see that the previous one wasn't 11. It's the chapter 5 autobiography.
Oh,
Got
so
it,
you
got
say
it.
page 16? Is it 164?
Yeah. So don't read any of chapter.
Don't. That's where you stop.
Yeah.
That's where you want us to stop. Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna
God,
write
I want to read it now, but what if it gets scary?
I know. I'm scared. Should I kind of like skim it? Let's see if I find something creepy. I'm just kidding. Like, something staring at me? I don't know. I like it. I'm excited.
Me too.
Oh. Wait. So next week I'll be here. Okay. Never mind.
Next weekend.
Yeah, because I'm going camping the second weekend from the 13th through the 16th, and I don't know if I'll have service.
Okay.
But I mean, if anything, I can just try to sign in through using someone else's phone, because I feel like I kind of have a feeling that I'd want to hear
That third
be a
week,
part of
yeah.
the meeting.
Yeah.
But I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Okay. Any more comments, ladies?
I don't think so. I'm excited.
I'm excited. Curious.
So far, Katie is looking like a good choice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's pretty good.
Ellie pick good ones.
So maybe from now on, you pick all the books.
Yeah. We'll read all the Harry Potter books first.
Excuse me.
That's
Low key down.
And then I'll get kicked out of book club.
no. I only read up to 4, book 4, and then I never went back to them. So
They get really long after that.
yeah, and then
Political.
so I was borrowing Corina's books, and then obviously we moved. I wasn't living with her anymore. So then I was like, well, I don't have the copy, so I can't keep going. Yeah.
They're good audio
Yeah,
books.
Jill-
If you ever like have a long drive, it's a really good audio.
They are really, really, really good audiobooks. The author does all these different voices.
Oh.
It's really good.
They're on the library app.
Yeah, but just don't expect to read them that same day, because there's like a 20-week something for each book. Like, wait.
Oh, the whole.
Yeah.
Oh. I see. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Probably.
At least for here, for me, that just happens to be that way.
Probably the same for me. Okay. Well, hope you all have a good week. I will see you Sunday. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Just, you're all like, wait, we're still recording. You never even stopped recording.